So some problem here in the BSCS. We select the GL account code. So let's try receivables. Okay, and the amount, let's suppose that he paid €100, and some justification, partial payment. Okay, this is it, and let's save it. The BSCS is running on this. It's processing it. Okay, the transaction has been registered with the new transaction 7004. Okay, so if we go to the debitor's overview, we will see that the balance has been reduced to 299 instead of 399 that it used to be. So if we go back to eXray client, we can again do the same trick and clean up the data. We have done this as a two-step process. It could be one step, just for flexibility in the demo, and get the data back from the BSCS. And if we look up the customer again, now we'll see that the balance is 299, and we go in the financial tab area, we will see that we have a new payment with the information that we have defined just before, and it is €100. So this has altered his balance accordingly. Now let's see another scenario. Let's suppose that a customer, namely Mr. Talbot, that is active in the BSCS with a contract. Let's look him up in the BSCS as well. Talbot. Here he is. He asks. He has a contract of YSFMC. This quad play, and he calls to our customer service and asks information about his usage. So the customer service does not have access in the billing, but he can still look up this information through the screen of eXray area. So yeah, we have done this again. Let's do it from the beginning. So we will initiate a new process of usage data records lookup, define how many records we need. Let's say we need up to 50 records, and define the time frame of these records. We will leave this empty because the data in the BSCS demo are pretty old, so it does make sense to put some filtering here. By adding this, the system automatically places a web service request to BSCS, expects the feedback, receives the feedback, and provides it for view to the customer. Just for flexibility in this demo, we have defined that the feedback is provided in a form of CSV file of a comma separated file. So let's do it. It seems that Mr. Talbot does not have data. Let's take another customer. Let's take Black Joe. Yeah, it's empty. He doesn't have data. Okay, let's take Mr. Black. Okay. He's also in the collections, but we don't care about that at this moment. We will get users records. Let's take 100. and let's see. Now we have an attachment here with the file of let's put what's the name, it's black. So let's open this file and see what's going on. I remind again that only for demo purposes this data have been placed in Excel format for flexibility. It can be presented in any type of format that we need. So we see post-paid records, some download from Easy Movies, some calls from this number to this number, and so on. Service, volume, the rated amount, rating type, and so on, for the records and the time period that we have defined. So this shows how we could implement an interaction for usage, for live usage, from eXray to BSCS. Of course, this kind of integration is not necessarily to be conducted upon demand based on user initiation. It can be either based on queries that are done on the system, for example defining the different filters, or transparently to the agents through a web self-care environment. Now, having seen all these, let's go back to the configuration area to see how all these abilities and flexibilities for this integration demo have been defined in the system. So we close the desktop client and go to eXray administration tool. eXray administration tool is the area where workflows, validation rules, parameter data, and reports, and everything is designed and configured. So starting from the area of validation, we saw in the beginning of our use cases that different validation rules were firing, preventing us from creating wrong entries on customers, wrong entries on orders, or wrong entries on event management of a case. So let's see how this is done. So we go in the validation area and we'll check, see, for example, this rule that we saw firing, which says at least a billing address needs to be defined. How this is defined? We can define if it is an error or a warning. We define a message that will be presented to the user, and then there is an area where we can define which field it plays with, and here we get a list, an automatic list of all the built-in and user-defined fields for the level where we are. We are in the level of customers, and we play with customer address type, and then we define the rule that we will apply. In this case, we have selected minimum occurrences, and we have defined that we need at least one occurrence of a billing address. This is completely dynamic, and it is based on the configuration that we have set up. For example, we could add a new rule, for example this active, and it's a warning, and it defines that let's say that okay, so let's put something simple now, that the contact fax number follows a specific regular expression, whatever. We can define any kind of rule we like on a field level from this screen. If we want to go something more complex, we can go to form validation rules, as we name them, which combine information from more than one fields. For example, we have defined that the customer field identity card issue authority must have a value if customer field identity card and the number has a value. How this is defined? This combines two rules. One area is the condition. If the customer identity card is not empty, then the customer identity card issue authority is mandatory. And then we again have a free description that is helpful for the user when violating these rules. In the condition area, we can have any kind of condition we like. For example, we can have an and then we can have an or, and so on. And for each node of this tree, we can define in a similar way the rule that we need. For example, let's say gender is equal to female. Depending on the field that we select, the rest is automatically populated accordingly. And similarly, in the rule area, we can define what happens if this rule fires. For example, if we go to a new rule that we want to set, for example, that street name must have a minimum length of 3 characters. As soon as we define the rule, an automatic description of the rule is created, and the automatic description of the rule is created. For example, if the customer is a company, if the customer type is company Ltd or company SA, then the address street name must have at least 3 characters. Okay, this is quite stupid, but it's an example of how the automatic description of the rule is created by the system, which of course you can populate with a more user-friendly description available for the agents. And the similar stuff has been done for the order validations. For example, we had the validation firing just before that it said that the GSM multimedia messaging is available for GSM video streaming over 2 Mbps. This is because we had a rule in the system that says service property GSM multimedia message basic is when it is enabled, then the service property GSM video streaming must not be in 2048 Mbps. Of course, here we could have a different expression of the same rule. We could say that the service property GSM video streaming must be value in list 4 Mbps or 8 Mbps, which is the same definition. It's only that the other definition was simpler. We can do whatever we like, and we can save the rule, and it's already automatically available for use. Similarly, there was another rule: how speed upload is only available for 4 Mbps download bandwidth. This is for another service. So with this, we have covered the area of validation rule setting.